Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at from the Transformers Rise of the Beast line. Technically, uh, this is the Beast Combiner Scourge and Scorponok. So yeah, we're getting another Scorpion base figure. And for those of you who've seen the movie, you might know that these are really the battle drones. So between that buzzworthy Bumblebee weaponizer set and this, you can right? Get a little bit of an army going. Now, I said this is technically from the Rise of the Beast line because this is actually from the Beast Awakens line. I got this set from Amazon Japan because they were actually offering pre-orders and selling it, whereas Amazon US and other retailers have not. Now, I think there might be some smaller retailers who might be offering this set at a later point in time, but it's out in Japan now, and really, if you order a couple other figures uh, that they have that you really can't find in U.S. retail yet, um, the price isn't that bad. I mean, it's the same packaging, just a couple stickers with the Japanese naming and numbering system, as well as the Beast Awakens logo. I've seen it a couple times, but don't forget this is also part of the Beast Alliance subline, which means this is definitely kid friendly. Now, we've taken a look at these combiner sets before, and it basically works like um, the Spark Armor sets from Cyberverse, or, as I get from a lot of people in the comments, Common Rider Game, the gimmick toys. Man, I wish I picked up a couple of those back in the day. Those are like really fun. So who knows? Maybe one hand wash the other. A lot of interest. And also, this is the second wave, and I gotta say, you can tell the big difference that they figured out the gimmick and found a few more ways to play with it in full ramp. Also, it's very nice to see a simplified Scourge figure that's not like a three-step changer, has a little more to the gimmick. Also, you might notice that Scourge is in a copper color. That's basically the main color that they're using in the toy line. That's because uh, obviously you can't sell um, an all black figure. But the color does match a little bit of the clear plastic parts on that Studio Series leader class figure. So we're going to move Scorponok out of the way for the moment, and we're going to take a look at Scourge. This is a much simplified, smaller version of the truck. Although some of the main points are there, you have the smokestacks with the chains wrapped around it, that front grille, and I kind of like how the hinges to fold the legs out are kind of worked in as part of that like Mad Max aesthetic. Although you can see the arms very open here in the back. So to start the transformation, it's actually not that difficult. First thing you want to do is you want to come in on the back here, and the arms kind of tug. There's like these little slots. The normal looking hand doesn't really, it just sort of sits there, but it does kind of peg in, so you want to loosen that up. The claw does peg in a little bit more, so free those up, and then come underneath here and open up these panels, and this will allow you to flip the legs out and forward. And you can go ahead and close those panels up, and at this point you can separate the legs, which is something they don't mention in the instructions. Come around the back here, flip the head up, just like so, and then flip the arms all the way out to the side until they snap into place on those black hinges. So there's our mini Scourge. And as you can see, it is using the same head design as we saw on the leader class figure that isn't 100% movie accurate. And one thing I want to mention, Scourge now has knees. So there is some extra articulation to this figure that was kind of missing on some of the other Beast Armor figures. No head swivel, but the arms can bend, and you do have the claws on a ball joint, so you can bend it in like that as well as rotate it. Just make sure when you're transforming it, I think it's these bigger sides. Kind of want to like you want it lined up like this, I think, to go peg back into the vehicle mode. But there's Scourge, very nice. Now let's take a look at Scorponok. And Scorponok, A lot of detail going on. You got that green color. Obviously, this is based off of the movie Scorponok design, meaning the original 2007 movie. Um, there is actually some elements from that full transforming toy because you have that extended claw, and what's nice is these do rotate, so there's that. The back legs are kind of fixed into place, but that's due to the nature of the transformation. And you got these little smaller pincers right there. So it looks to me like they just took the design of the transforming Scorponok, froze it in vehicle mode, and modified it to be the Beast armor combined. So to get into the combination, the first thing you want to do is remove the tail, and that will actually free up the back legs a little, as well as the front section here to flip down. And we'll get this is the weapon. Basically, that's about it. There's, you can move that section of the tail back and forth. We'll get into that in a moment. So you can see the two holes there on either side of Scourge's head on the shoulders. Come up here, take that into place, and then what you're going to do is pull this whole section down, keep going all the way. It'll spring out and kind of friction into place there. There really isn't any pegs or anything holding it in place. What you want to do now is bring those scorpion arms down, and as you're doing that, rotate them so that the claws are facing forward. Bring Scourge's arms forward, and you can give him the weapon. Now, the instructions actually show it holding like this. I prefer having Scourge hold it like this so that the hollow end is facing towards the rear. So we just do that, and of course you can bring these forward as additional weapons and stuff. And yeah, there you go. Really fun looking, great looking figure. Uh, as I said, boom, there is articulation to it. That's something I was not expecting. Really fun, really cool. Not really sure what that head is based on. It is kind of interesting, but yeah, clearly there's always been this saying that the second wave of a line, that's where the really good figures are, because the designers have gotten used to the schematics and the thought process of designing, and they really figure out how to work the system. And I kind of got to say, with the second wave of the Beast Combiners, I do see that. The inner robots have a little bit more articulation, and there's a little more designing and greeble uh, to the armor components. I mean, Scorponok is a fun little not desk fiddle toy in of itself. So yeah, so definitely it's worth the purchase. I mean, you can have some fun with the tail here and all of that. And of course, you can use the tail weapon on its own without using the armor that is shown in the instructions. So I guess that's about it right now for what we're going to do. So how about we pause and we'll come back with my final thoughts. While unfortunately the Rise of the Beast movie seems to have floundered at the box office, it is interesting to note that it hasn't opened in Japan yet. So, really, before the movie starts, the Japanese audiences are getting the basic toys of some of the major characters like Scourge, um, Wheeljack, RC, and stuff like that before we did. Now, again, delays here in the United States, I really don't know how things would have worked out, but I do think it would have made sense to have some of the waves reshuffled. Personally, I think Scourge should have been a Wave 1 character, so the Wave 1 of both the Beast armor, the Combiners, and the Weaponizers were not so Autobot Maximal heavy. Give us a villain, and also keep in mind between the Beast Combiners, the Weaponizers, you basic, and that first wave of three step changers, you had an overload of Optimus Primals there. But that's a debate for another time. Um, right now, we're talking about Scourge, fantastic figure. If you see it at retail, as far as I know, it has not been spotted at US retail yet. Definitely, it's worth the pickup. Hopefully, it does show up to US retail. We are getting to that point in the movie cycle where stores may not be interested in the movie product anymore. So we have to keep an eye out on that. But if you really don't want to wait, Check out Amazon Japan. It's the same customer service and quality that you get from Amazon. They actually pack the toys a lot better. Let me just say that. Um, and in terms of pricing, it is comparable. I mean, the shipping might be a little high, but it's relatively quick. And if you're doing a large order, it is comparable. And plus, it is cheaper than eBay. Let me just mention that right now. You buy this Wheeljack, Air Razor, if it comes back in stock, you're going to be paying less than what the eBay prices are. So that's something to keep in mind. But that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please do consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I appreciate the views, your likes, comments, and subscriptions do help with the algorithms in telling Google that my channel should be exalted and held upon high, and that's very important. The algorithms are what drive YouTube, and likes and subscriptions, especially subscriptions, help push a channel. Something in the neighborhood of 83% of you watching my videos are not subscribed, and that does affect the my channel. I also have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. You guys know the spiel. Link is in the description, little card in the corner. But if you can't swing the Patreon, I always say this, your views are more than thanks enough. You guys have been with me for 10 years, and I appreciate everything you do. That's about it. This is your old pal Chuck for Beast Combiner Scorponok as I smack his hand. We will see you next time.